Hey guys, this is Ofo, and this is another Wi-Fi battle I had against NickIsLegit, and this is the underused tier, and the underused tier is probably my favorite tier to play, just because I think it's the most balanced. There's no Pokemon in there that I really think are overpowered or should be moved up, and there's only a couple of Pokemon I think probably should be moved down, but I don't really care too much about that, so that's enough talk. Let's just get into the battle. So this match I lead with my Bronzong, because I noticed that he didn't have many things that really threatened my Bronzong a lot, and Bronzong does have dual screens with Light Clay and Stealth Rocks, which makes him a pretty valuable lead if I can get those things off early game. So I see him lead with Raikou, which was one Pokemon I noticed was going to be a big threat, especially if it's sub-Calm Mind. So seeing it come in, I just go in right for the light screen, because I don't want this Raikou getting set up without, some kind of protection for my team. But, so seeing Calm Mind, I'm hoping that it is just a Calm Mind set without Substitute. So I do take this next turn going to Stealth Rocks, and he goes to another Calm Mind, which makes me hope that he doesn't have Substitute. So after getting my Light Screen and Stealth Rocks up, I don't feel comfortable staying in any longer. So I go into my Machamp, but then I see him reveal Substitute, and that's not good at all. So that means I do just have to take a +2 Thunderbolt from this Raikou, and I do have Light Screen up, so it's not going to do a whole of a lot, but it is still, I'm not sure from this point if that is a 2-hit KO, and if it is, that means that he is going to take out my Machamp at the range of HP that I honestly don't know if a Banded Aqua Jet from my Azumarill will actually take out his Raikou. So he does make a big misplay here, though, and he goes for a Substitute. At first I thought it was a good play, because I was like, oh, I think he's trying to burn out the turns of Light Screen. But by going for that sub, it wastes a turn, which gives me another turn of leftovers, which means that based off the prior damage, as long as that wasn't extreme min-max, I can definitely survive another Thunderbolt. So he goes through it this turn, which he should have done the turn before, and I do survive it kind of comfortably with 63 HP, and hit him with another Dynamic Punch, which is big, because not only does that confuse him, which gives me the chance to, not die next turn and him hitting himself with confusion, but it means that I can easily revenge kill with Azumarill. So unfortunately, this next turn he does just break through and goes for Thunderbolt, which obviously from this range of HP will take me out, and with a worthless crit. So now his Raikou is still at +2, but like I said, I do have a plan. I go into my So Not Banned, which ironically is a banded Azumarill, and just go for an Aqua Jet, which is obviously going to take him out from that range. So that big threat is gone right away, and as the light screen turns wear out, that pretty much meant that those first 8 turns was just me getting my Stealth Rocks and each of us losing a Pokemon. So I think I probably got the better end of the deal. So he does bring in his Shaman against my guy, and I do want to switch out because I can't really do much. So I do go into my Bronzong. I'm just thinking to take a Grass Hit, because obviously Azumarill is weak to it, but instead I do just am immune to Earth Power, which is really good. And I do take this turn to set up another Light Screen, because I did notice that his team is mostly special attack oriented, but he does have 2 physical threats I do have to watch out for, and one of them being Scrafty. Now seeing him bring in Scrafty, I go right out into my Arcanine, because I know that this Scrafty, if he gets set up with Dragon Dances, is a big threat. So I do go to my Arcanine, and this is my physically defensive Arcanine with Intimidate, and this thing is so amazing. If you guys haven't tried out this set, it's so amazing because not only does it take hits so well, as you see him take that neutral Drain Punch fantastically, but it catches people off guard, so they leave their Pokemon in that they normally wouldn't to get Will-O-Wisps, like Nick did here with his Scrafty. So because of that, I just crippled one of his biggest threats that I really was worried about, just because he didn't foresee a Will-O-Wisp on my Arcanine. So now he does bring in his Milotic as I go for Fire Blast, and I just wanted to do damage to whatever came in. But Milotic takes that really well because obviously they're normally special defensive, and me knowing how valuable my Arcanine is probably going to be, I do go out into my Manectric, who can obviously threaten it out with a Thunderbolt. But unfortunately, she does go for Toxic, or she, as being the Milotic, goes to Toxic on the switch, which means that this is a sub Manectric, but that pretty much just cripples my Substitute sweeping, potential. So I do just go for Flamethrower, predicting his Cobalion or his Shaman to come in, which really pays off, because while that doesn't quite kill, I mean, this Cobalion was a huge threat to my team, and now he's almost dead. So I thought about this turn a really long time. I decided to switch out because I need my Manectric for his Milotech, and if he is Jolly, he will outspeed. So I do just make the safe play, go into my Arcanine as he goes for Iron Head, and as you see, that does nothing. It's resisted, it's -1, and I'm max HP, max defense, so that does nothing. But I do just go for a Fire Blast this following turn as he goes for Sacred Sword. And unfortunately, this Sacred Sword does a bunch due to a critical hit, which means, fortunately, my Fire Blast does hit. But that means that his Milotech, or pretty much any of his Pokemon, can freely come in here and revenge kill me if I do decide to stay in. So I am, knowing that I do have Morning Sun on this Arcanine and that I can come in at any point, I do decide to switch out as he brings in his Togekiss, which takes that very beneficial Stealth Rock damage. And I do go into my Bronzong, knowing that I can pretty much wall this Togekiss very well. I know that they do often carry Flamethrower, but I still am max HP, max special defense, so I should be able to take that decently and set up a light screen. But I do actually just go for Gyro Ball, predicting a switch, and he does go into a Shaman. Now I do just go for another Gyro Ball here. I think I just wanted to do as much damage to the Shaman as possible, knowing that that did a reasonable amount. But that turn he goes for Aromatherapy, which is horrible for me, because that means that that means that his Scrafty is back in the game, and that is very bad, because like I said, his Scrafty is a huge threat. So so after going for 2 Gyro Balls, I decided to set up a Reflect right here, I believe. Do I? Yes, just so his Scrafty cannot come in the following, at least for a while, for 7 turns. And then he reveals Synthesis, which really does assert, if the Aromatherapy didn't, that this is definitely a supportive Shaman. So I do go into my Crobat as he shows Seed Flare. I'm stumbling over my words, guys. Sorry about that. But I do go into my Crobat, and seeing Seed Flare and knowing he has Earth Power and then Aromatherapy and Synthesis, I completely wall this Shaman with my Crobat, especially because I do have a Stab Brave Bird, which will just destroy that Shaman. So now he brings in Togekiss, who does not take that well at all, and I will just be able to stay in, outspeed with, obviously, my massive speed stat, and take out this Togekiss, which really didn't do anything this game, but as I'm sure you guys all know, can be really annoying with, Thunder Wave and Air Slash being the most common set, or even Scuff's really annoying on that thing too. So now with that threat out of the way, he goes into his Milotech, and I can't remember what I do this turn. I do switch out, and I think I go into my Manectric, just obviously electric type, can do massive damage with Thunderbolt. He does go for Scald, and I actually wasn't sure if I had Light Screen up at this point, but obviously based on that damage, I don't take that well at all, which really informs me that I do not have Light Screen. So based off that damage, I'm thinking he will stay in, so I don't want to be predicting Shaman unnecessarily, so I do just go for Thunderbolt. Fortunately, he does stay in, and this does a massive amount of damage. Super effective, stab, and I am max special attack. That does a bunch of damage. It doesn't take him out, because obviously Milotechs tend to be specially defensive, but he does take out my Milotech, which really isn't a big deal at all, because at this point I have the game in the bag. I got his Milotech down to a Ranger HP where my Crobat can easily come in, revenge kill, and then all he has left is his Scrafty, who is not burned, but is weak to flying and will be outsped, and his Shaman, which is completely walled and countered by this Crobat, who, is immune to one of his attacks, quad resists the other, and, has a super effective move against him. So after the Stealth Rocks, a 1 Brave Bird will take out this Scrafty, even though I'm not max attack, I think I'm max speed, max HP, I believe. I'm actually not sure about that. I can't really tell by the HP my Crobat has. So that is going to take him out, which is really nice. And now all he has left is a Shaman. I just go for another Brave Bird. Not worried about recoil at all, because, like I said, he can't hurt me at all. So that he does survive, surprisingly, meaning that he obviously is probably max HP. And I do take that Seed Flare really well, because of course it's quad resisted, and this next turn I will be able to finish him off with a Brave Bird. So that's going to be the game right after I demolish this Shaman. And I think it was a pretty good game. It was a 4-0, but I think he had a lot of big threats, and I think I did play this very well. If I had played this wrong, I'm pretty sure, well, I'm certain that he could have swept my team or done massive damage with a bunch of his Pokemon. But I fortunately avoided that, and I ended up with the fairly convincing victory. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I sure did, and I will see you guys later. Bye.